up, King? How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So tell us about this new book. We want to know.
Well, it's a story of trying to combine magic, fantasy, and sports, and in this case, the game of basketball. And
Yeah.
it's a story about a magical coach that comes to town. His name's Wizenard, and he has a way of magically manifesting the fears of these young men. And the reason is these young men have these fears that they that they don't want to face. And through magic, they're able to face these fears, have the courage to face these fears. And through that process, they wind up becoming better basketball players, but more important than that, they become better young men.
I love it. So what inspired you to write this fictional story?
My children at home, so like the daughters that we have at home, just like any parent, I think you start kind of trying to give your children advice. And at some point they're like, yeah, okay, Dad, yeah, you're preaching. So I try to figure out different creative ways to guide them and give them that information so it doesn't feel like I'm preaching to them all the time. So that's where the idea started.
Absolutely. And Kobe, you're such a firm believer about the importance of, changing your mindset. Let's talk about that.
Well, it's about growth,
Yeah.
right? It's about having a curiosity of figuring out how you can get better every single day. And kind of having that curiosity that continues to push you forward, and having the mentality that you're constantly moving forward is extremely important.
Absolutely, the joys in the journey. So what do you hope for readers to really gain from this book?
Well, what I hope is that you come to see that it's a story of, first and foremost, self-acceptance. And accepting the fears that we have. And then you can choose to walk hand in hand with those fears. You can choose to challenge those fears. And then secondly, it's a story of compassion and empathy. Yeah. Because even though the young men in this story cannot see the experience that the other teammates are having, by the end of the novel, they come to understand that they must have gone through something heavy as well, because they certainly did.
Absolutely. And how have you evolved, Kobe, from an athlete to a full-out serial creative?
Well, it's been fun. I've just been very, very lucky to find something that I love every bit as much as I love playing the game. And I think that's the challenge for professional athletes is, finding that thing, that thing that excites you to get up in the morning and get to work and create, because sports has a way of becoming our identity for so long that it's easy to kind of lose touch with your sense of self, which can be pretty dangerous. But I've been very, very fortunate to find this passion.
Absolutely, and you are a true inspiration. My family loves you. My brother absolutely adores you, Nike Rasta. Where can we find more information about this book, and where can we purchase it?
Well, you can purchase the book anywhere where books are sold. And like I said, we're really excited. We've just released it. It's our first one in a series of 5. And hopefully, readers will enjoy it every bit as much as we did creating it.
Absolutely. And my last question for you, what advice can you give to somebody who feels stuck in life, but they need that motivation to move forward?
The most important thing is just to put one foot in front of the other. Yeah. Right? Sometimes we can kind of think ourselves into stagnation. And the most important thing is when you're stuck in a rut is just put one foot in front of the other and just continue to move. Just continue to move, and then you'll work yourself out of it. It's like, being at the base of a mountain, looking up at the top of that mountain, it looks really, really intimidating. But if you just focus on the step in front of you, the next thing you know, you'll be at the top of that mountain.
Absolutely, I needed to hear that. Yes, well, thank you so much. It was a pleasure chatting with you.
Thank you for having me.
Blessings.